Okay, so the oil level is exactly where it should be, exactly where I put it before trying to start her up. You saw it die, you saw how it didn't want to rev. Take a look at the plugs now. Just did a compression test. We got 201, 201, 199, 200. So pretty much within 3 psi on all cylinders. Good numbers. This is pretty much going to be a brand new spark plug that I wiped clean before we put it in there. She's definitely got some oil on it. I did just wipe it clean a bit before I put it back in. And for comparison, I just wiped it down with my fingers, pretty much how I wiped it down before I just put it in. So it definitely looks like I might be getting a little bit of oil in the cylinders. Let's take a look inside if we can. A little moist in there. Not sure why that would be. Just put a brand new head gasket in because I was having similar issues and couldn't figure it out. Checked the oil and it was way high on the dipstick, so I drained it and I had chocolate milk. So I threw a new head gasket in, hoping the blocker head wasn't cracked or warped. Having the same running issues, which could still potentially be another unrelated issue from the head gasket kind of stuff, but definitely a little bit of oil getting into the cylinders. Seems like that shouldn't be happening. And, well, I just sat for another couple of minutes. We'll check the oil again. Make sure it hasn't creeped up. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, again, the oil in the stick is exactly where I filled it to. So at least that is a good sign. That is a good sign. One thing that was new this time around, and I should point out, as I trip over everything, that I just rebuilt this. The sensors came from, I don't know if you can see it. That's the B18B that was originally in this car. The distributor was running fine, the water pump went, and that's the main reason for a swap, besides the rings on that motor are kind of fried. But the distributor had good sensors, never got a code from them. New cap, new rotor, new NGK blues, new NGK racing plugs. They are the resistorless ones. But yes, one new thing, again pointing out that I did rebuild my distributor, is apparently I'm getting a code 3 now. VTEC codes are expected, VTEC's not plugged in. It's really fucking cold outside. So we got code 21, 22, and 3. Got a bunch of ECUs and a catch can. So, we're getting an excess amount of smoke. It doesn't want to run right. It died again. I should also point out that not the stock map sensor, and not stock injectors. The injectors are twice as big, so it should just run more rich. We are seeing that. The map sensor, obviously the boost lines aren't hooked up, and just kind of revving it at idle really would just change the feeling. We're still seeing rich. I'm not too worried about that. Normally I'd be running chipped ECU with a chip for that map sensor and these injectors, but for now I'm just testing with a stock ECU just to eliminate any other potential problems. Interesting that I'm getting a code 3 now. I was getting a code 8 before randomly, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm maybe having some wiring issues, maybe, but I have tested the wiring from the ECU to the distributor, and the resistances were spot on to what they're supposed to be for the 3 sensors. So yeah, it's a little weird. The injectors came out of the old motor as well. They seem to be running fine in there. Everything else was pretty much fine before, other than the old motor blowing a ring. Still ran kind of okay, still boosted kind of okay, and then the water pump started leaking, so I was like, nope, gotta swap it. So we swapped this in, and yeah, she doesn't want to go, I guess. I mean, we're almost there, I think, but not quite. I am happy to see that the coolant hasn't gone into the oil yet so far. At least it looks like the level has not gone up on the stick. So you can see in my pretty green clear coolant hose that it looks good. So there ain't no oil in the coolant yet that we can see. Although before I pulled the old head gasket, there was no oil in the coolant. There was only coolant in the oil. Can't think of much else that could be causing this. You saw when it was running, I do have a big vacuum leak here. And as I was pulling it out with my finger, it was wanting to die. Again, I'm running bigger injectors, so the extra unmetered air is probably helping balance that out a bit. But again, a little vacuum leak like that won't cause it to die or not rev up the way it is. I mean, I was opening the throttle all the way and it just barely wanted to go. Sometimes it would rev up a bit. Got a couple of revs up to almost 5,000, and then other times, especially near the end, it just didn't even want to rev up at all. So, input appreciated. What do you guys think? Johnny 5 need input. What do I do? I have gone through most of the tests in the factory service manual. So, yeah. Getting a little confused here, especially with the random dying part. I'm gonna try and start it one more time here before the end of the night. It's fucking 2:30 in the morning. Fucking cold as shit outside. Tired, my tools are everywhere, I gotta pick them all up. I just want my fucking car to run, man. I hope there's actually a spark plug in there. That's what happens when you get tired. Last try for the night. Will she start again? That's the magical question. Kind of getting the feeling that it won't go again tonight. Check the oil one last time before we start it up again. And can't tell, I'm gonna have to give her a wipe. Wiping my stick. I'm sticking it in. I'm pulling it out. Now I'm seeing if it's wet. Yeah. She's wet, but she's only as wet as she should be. By that I mean the level on the stick has not come up at all. Alright. Last try for tonight. Let's see what happens. It's cold. Alright, guys. She does not want to fire. And just because I know you guys are gonna suggest this probably, we're gonna kill the power and reset the ECU. Okay, should be enough to reset the ECU. We'll verify this by double checking whether or not we have a code 3 still. Should still get 21 and 22 because, again, VTEC not hooked up. Okay, actually only 22, we don't get 21 until it tries to start. Brr. Oh, there you have it. No, she won't go again. And the issues do kind of seem like I'm low on gas, and the fuel gauge does say close to empty, but I've put in quite a bit. 10 liters at least in the last few days with barely running it, and in total probably like 20 liters or so. Doubt it's got anything to do with the fuel. I will add more tomorrow just to be sure. Trying to start it up first after it sits, see if that makes a difference. We'll report back later, I guess. Open to any ideas and suggestions. It's kind of a weird issue for me. I can usually figure this stuff out. Usually don't have these problems. But yeah. Okay. Obviously at this point it is too late and my brain is no longer working. So I'm going to sign off and hope my car works soon.